So now we know the teams that will be playing in the college football playoff, and Notre Dame, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Finally, this committee gets that part right, but oh my gosh, have they made an absolute mess of this for the second time in 3 years. We've seen the ACC boxed out of the college football playoff, and we saw, my goodness, Alabama get in on the good graces of this committee and the whole don't penalize me for making a conference championship game argument. My goodness. What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, answer the question in the comments below. Do you have a problem with how the college football playoff select committee has decided who the 12 teams are that will play in the college football playoff? As a reminder, it's the 5 highest ranked conference champions that get automatic selection, not Power 4 champions. ACC needs to get its wattage up, though, because this is embarrassing for them. And there's a fix for it. There was a simple fix for having your conference champion be a ranked one if you're the ACC, and we'll talk about that as we go through it. But the bracket is set. Number 1, Indiana, 13-0. Looks like the best team in the country. A really great win against Ohio State. Yes, it's 13-10, but they bullied Ohio State on the offensive and defensive line. They are outstanding defensively. I enjoyed watching how they held up against what was the weakest part of the Ohio State offense's run game, and then got to Julian Sayin, put him on his back 5 times. Julian Sayin had been sacked a total of 6 times in 12 games until then. Ohio State at number 2, 12-0 through the regular season, lost the Big Ten championship. They'll take the bye week, get to play in about 3.5 weeks, and then we'll see what they really got. Georgia at number 3, definitive win in the SEC championship game against Alabama. Its only loss was to Alabama, avenged that loss, and gets to 12-1. Texas Tech, number 4, one of the best teams in the country from start to finish, frankly. It's lost to Arizona State. They did not have their starting quarterback in Baron Morton. However, it's the defense that powers that thing, man. That front 7 is good enough to play in the NFL. Romello Height and David Bailey are 2 guys that you don't want to see screaming off the edge for you. And then Jacob Rodriguez, who is a forced fumble machine, won the Butkus Award at linebacker for them. Oregon gets the 5 seed. They're going to host 12 seed James Madison. Good luck with that, Bob Chesney. It feels like Oregon is right where they would like to be. They get the home game at Autzen. They get the weakest team in the bracket to start before they might have to play against an Oregon team that beat them by 10 points, but you get it, right? That's where you would like to be if you're the Ducks. Dan Lanning's team sitting pretty, feeling good. Number 6, Ole Miss. No Lane Kiffin, no problem. We got Pete Golden, who's going to be running things. Charlie Weiss coming back across the line. I should say enemy lines to call the offense for an Ole Miss program that has been explosive offensively. Trinidad Chambliss, for me, is a Heisman finalist. I think he should get votes. He won't be in New York, but he had one of the great games or great seasons that I've seen from a guy who's just transferring up from D2 Ferris State to big boy football in the SEC. Outstanding. They're going to get number 11 Tulane, which is the best team of the group of 6 conference, group of 5 conference. They dispatched North Texas with extreme prejudice, but this is a different ballgame. Remember, they got destroyed by Ole Miss earlier this year. So if you're in the Grove, you're going, hotty toddy, baby, we in it. We get to Georgia after this one, and that's going to be a great game. Number 6 versus number 11 gets to that 3 seed. That would be Georgia. Number 7, A&M. They are hosting a college football game, or college football playoff game in College Station, and they get number 10 Miami. I think that's a really great matchup. Marcel Reed versus that NFL-style defensive line at Miami. I think it's the second best defensive line in the country, frankly. If Carson Beck can find a way to keep feeding Malachi Tony the football, you got electricity at wide receiver for both of these teams. Mario Craver, Casey Concepcion, Terry Bussey, and you've got Mike Elko's really great defense. Cash Sewell been outstanding coming off the edge. I can't wait for that game. That's going to be really great. This Oklahoma-Alabama matchup, my gosh, I'm over the moon about this. Number 8 versus number 9 in Norman. Alabama comes to Norman to get beat. That's what it is, baby. Don't mind Oklahoma, who gets to the college football playoff before SC does with Lincoln Riley with Brent Venables. Not bad. Alabama, who gets in on the at-large part of this, the first 3-loss team to make the college football playoff, and has the best win in all of college football, going into Sanford, getting a win there against a really great Georgia team, the first team to win at Sanford since October 12th, 2019. That's 6 years. They wanted to overlook the Florida State loss, so they did. And Oklahoma's a good football team, if not a great football team. And then you're really talking about a Georgia team that looks like they are rounding into the kind of team that can play for and win the national championship. Then we got to talk about the ACC. My goodness. So what had happened was we had 5 teams. We had Duke, Pitt, Georgia Tech, SMU, and I'm forgetting one that were tied for second place in the conference standings for the ACC title game. And the way in which they chose their tiebreaker was opponent winning percentage in conference play, which feels a lot like flipping a coin because you don't know how good your league is going to be or not be, because it generally does matter, like what the rankings are going to say and how many teams you play that have had winning records. And Duke basically played a really tough schedule, and they were given the opportunity. So let me go through again. Miami, that's the one. Miami, Georgia Tech, Pitt, and SMU. So the way in which they decided to pick that team ends up with Duke, who is 7-5. Duke, who was not ranked. Duke, who was not likely to be one of the highest ranked conference champions in the sport. Ends up beating Virginia in overtime last night, 27-20. And it looked like they might have boxed out Alabama, but turns out they boxed out Notre Dame by being a conference champion, but not a ranked one. So you're basically allowing for James Madison to take that highest ranked conference championship from ACC. Now, it's very simple. In the future, what you would want to do is change your tiebreaker scenario to which one of the teams is ranked highest in the College Football Playoff Selection Committee's rankings. That way you can have some fire insurance against getting flamed for the second time in 3 years because you ain't got no team in the College Football Playoff in a 12-team bracket. We never thought that this would happen. We thought that one way or another, they would find a way to get the Power 4 champion in there, right? They boxed out Florida State after going undefeated because Jordan Travis got hurt. Sucks. Although they're not going to box out Ole Miss for Lane Kiffin leaving and going to LSU. Doesn't feel fair. Different kind of committee, different set of rules, but also only one guy speaking for them really makes this difficult. The bracket is what it is now, so you got to play it as it lies. But Oklahoma versus Alabama get to Texas Tech. Oklahoma can feel like it could play with Texas Tech. Probably based on past history. This Texas Tech team would be just fine in the SEC. I think there'd be a 10-win team like Oklahoma in the SEC. Is it going to be good on good? I'm not quite sure. I think Texas Tech's defense is as good as Oklahoma's defense. Certainly got a better offense than what Oklahoma showed the last 6 weeks. John Mateer's got to figure it out. And hopefully with this bye week, de facto bye week, they'll get it figured out going into next Saturday, or December 19th. Well, let's see. Yeah, I would think I got to go check my dates on this. Friday or Saturday, we're going to see Oklahoma play Alabama. I'm so stoked right now. Oklahoma gets caught college football playoff home game. It's what you always wanted if you're an OU fan. Like, that's the one thing that I hate about this for the top seeds. You don't get a home game. In a 2014 playoff, you'd get a home game, right? Because we'd extend it to another round. So you get the first round of home games, and then you get the second round of home games. Then you go to your quarterfinals, semifinals, and you win a fight, figure out your national championship. So you get your traditional New Year's Six bowl games in there if that's what you want. But what you're looking at is, I think, it's an even bracket knowing what the rules are. You have to put 5 highest ranked conference champions in there so that the conference championships mean something toward the playoff. For the folks that think that conference titles are going to go, or conference championship games are going to go away because you might penalize this team or that, I would invite you to look at the checkbook and see how much money these games are worth for networks. They wanted them. This is the reason the SEC had the first SEC championship game and the first conference championship game. It's on television. That's the whole point. And where do most people watch college football? On television. That means you got to suffer through some really, really terrible commercials and ads, but they go for a lot of money and they help power the sport, which brings more money for your name, image, and likeness collective, more money for your conference that you get to divvy up and share. And you get to have nice things to go along with the price of brick continues to go up. I mean, they pay Lane Kiffin $13.28 million annually to coach LSU. Like, that's what it is right now. So right now, this is what it looks like. I'm excited about it. Goodness me. Oklahoma, Alabama, home game. Let's go.